share the stage with the people who have come up before me. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me to your school. I'm really, really encouraged by the things that you guys are doing here. I wanted to start off, I didn't know about the whole quick quotes on PowerPoint thing, so I have mine written down, I'm sorry. But a Sid Williams quote, "The more you exercise your commitment, the stronger it becomes." So, following your guys' week, yesterday at Life University, we as the student body drew a line in the sand. We had Dr. Overland, the president of the ACA, come and speak on our campus. And several of us were not too thrilled about that. We weren't asked, we weren't told even really until the day before that he was coming. And that wasn't all right because it was an all-school mandatory assembly that we had to attend. So we had about 150 people on Wednesday come to an hour-and-a-half-long informational meeting. We just shared some facts, everything referenced. This is what's happening, this is what's been said, this is what's been done. Then later that night, we had a pep rally. We had about 100 more students show up. We made posters. We made t-shirts. There were flyers handed out. I printed up 1,000 flyers. We handed them to every single student that walked into that assembly. And we said, these are the facts of this person who's coming and speaking on our campus. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I have to I know nobody is here, and maybe you guys don't know any of them, but I am so just gracious for every single person who was up there with me. We drew this line in the sand, and I have to tell you, the administration sent out emails talking about how we have to be polite. They talked about the honor code that we all signed when we came to school. They didn't tell us what was going to happen, but our professors were constantly telling us, watch out, you can get kicked out of school for this. If you stand up, if you do anything too bold, you can get kicked out of school for this. Now, as somebody leading this charge, it was a little intimidating for me because I had first and second quarter students, and I'm telling them, no, you guys are fine, they're not going to kick us out of school. And then Wednesday night I went home and said, oh crap, we might get kicked out of school. And I could always come to Life West, I'm from California, so this is home, and then, so I could go there. I know that I would be very welcome there, but I just told these first and second quarter students that they're going to be fine, and we have professors telling us that we might get kicked out of school. They hired extra security. There were security guards with guns at the door. We walked in with our signs, and they took them out of our hands. It was insane. But we were professionals. We sat down, all in the front row, all with our t-shirts on. If they weren't wearing a white t-shirt that they designed, you guys can't really see them here. Oh, there's the sticker. All right. So you can't really see the t-shirts too well, but it just said what chiropractic was to us, what all of our own personal philosophies were. And if you didn't have that shirt, you were wearing your student ICA shirt, you were wearing your MCQI shirt, you were wearing your principal t-shirt, and we were all in the front. This man was intimidated, and it was amazing. But I am just so grateful for all of these people who stood up there with me. So I want to talk about not wavering. Somebody once said that those who are remembered are those who never waver. And it's not about becoming popular. It's not about being famous. It's about drawing that line in the sand and saying, we will not cross this. We stand for our principle. You know, there were a lot of people yesterday who were too afraid to stand with us, and that's fine. The school really got to a lot of students. The 300 that showed up the day before were not there yesterday. We cannot waver. If you want to be remembered, you cannot waver. We need this deep sense of urgency in our lives. We need to know what we stand for and why we stand for it. We need to know that there are millions of people walking around right now who are subluxated. That needs to be a problem to us. that they are being choked off at the source. That needs to be a problem, and we need to change the world. We're the next generation. We need to change the world, you guys. We have this power in our hands. We're in the best profession in the world. We need to change the world. Several people were talking about, several on my Facebook, how we need to be treated as equals in this profession. How we need this cultural authority, prescribing rights will give us that. You guys, we don't need to be equals with them. We're not even playing in the same sandbox as them. We are completely separate and distinct. How many people do you think saw the Titanic sinking and said, well, you know what? I mean, that's really pretty. It's massive. It's one of a kind. We should really jump on that ship. And that's what's happening now. We have so many chiropractors who are willing to jump ship to get onto their broken, failing, sinking model. Let me just share some of these statistics with you. I'm sure you've all heard them before. We're 27th in health in the world. We're 39th in infant mortality. And we consume 50% of the world's drugs. That's disgusting. That's a sinking model right there. What we should be saying is, I'm going to jump on that ship, and I'm going to change everybody's mind. I'm going to tell every single person on that ship about subluxation. I'm sorry, subluxation is not about your back pain. Subluxation is ruining your life. And that needs to be our conviction. That needs to be our story. So how deep is your conviction? I have another quote here. It should be pointed out that you yourself must have the courage of your convictions and the courage to act on your convictions. Without this courage and ability to act, you will become another man's pawn and can be easily defeated. Man, somebody posted that on my Facebook today, and I wish I had that yesterday, because I would have been shouting that to every single student walking by. You will become another man's pawn, and you can be easily defeated. And that's not me. I'm not going down that way. What's the depth of your conviction? Because that's going to equal the length that you will go to make sure that this principle of ours is disseminated out to every man, woman, and child that you come into contact with. A lot of people describe it as this. If you saw somebody drowning, would you wonder about, well, how exactly should I go about jumping into this pool? Let me take my shoes off first. Ooh, I really like this watch. I'll take that off. You would just jump in. But we see people every single day, millions of people who are dying, choked off by the source, and we just let them go by. We don't say anything. So I want to end with this. I don't know how many of you guys know what this picture is or what this means. I'm going to make you guys maybe get a little bit uncomfortable. If you can all stand up. If you've ever heard Dr. Away speak, he ends all of his talks with this, so forgive me because I am stealing this from him. D.D. Palmer, 1905, was convicted with practicing medicine without a license. And when the jury read the conviction, and right before they trucked him off to jail, he put up his two hands. He put up his two hands like this, and he said, as long as I have these two hands, and there are sick people who get well, I will use them. Now I'd like you guys to repeat that with me with as much conviction and as deep as you possibly can. As long